never know what the future may bring. Tomorrow's questions will be complex, and we won't automatically know the answers. We learn how to search for them here in the College of Arts and Letters. We learn the skills of the future for the jobs of tomorrow. We're ready to rise, and it's time to shine.
We are Southern Materials Company, the Ozarks' only Kohler showroom. We now offer a free in-home consultation where you meet with a designer who will transform your old bathroom to create your custom, one-of-a-kind dream bathroom. Southern Materials Company.
Atlas is a family-owned and operated business. My family started it in 1962, and we've been in business ever since. We specialize in residential and commercial burglary, fire, access control, cameras, and home automation.
The boss says, save some bucks, fly out of a bigger airport. So I said, what about Springfield Airport? SGF Airport means easy access, quick check-ins, plenty of flights. They make business travel easy.
Springfield Airport. We make flying easy.
Good evening. I'm Brian Weiler, and on behalf of the Airport Board and staff of the Springfield Branson National Airport, I'd like to welcome you to the Ozzie Awards. Now, we all know we would normally host this event in our beautiful airline terminal, but 2020 has been anything but normal. However, support for the arts is more important now than ever, and why, even though the airport has been severely impacted, we still wanted to remain as a primary sponsor of this event. Your airport never closed, and I'm very proud of the team that worked through some pretty dark days early on. But things are getting better. We are finding our new normal, and our passenger numbers are slowly increasing. Our 4 airline partners, American, Delta, United, and Allegiant, continue to fly our 12 direct destinations, and both airports and airlines have implemented enhanced safety procedures and protocols. You may not be ready to fly yet, and that's fine, but when you're ready, we'll be ready for you. I do want to congratulate the Arts Council for finding a way to hold the Ozzie Awards. I will say, don't get too comfortable with this format because we want you back at the airport in 2021. So in the meantime, stay safe and continue the support of the arts. Thank you.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the 2020 Ozzie Awards, a virtual flight of fancy. Thanks so much for joining us tonight in a different way. Even though we can't be together physically, we can certainly be together online, like we've done so many other ways this entire year during the pandemic. So normally we're able to gather together with 300 of our closest friends at the beautiful Springfield Branson National Airport to celebrate the incredible contributions of individual people, of organizations, nonprofits, and businesses who have invested their time and energy to ensure the arts in Southwest Missouri continue to thrive. Tonight's certainly no different. We're just doing it a little bit differently. And we'll be able to share with you some stories of 16 different Ozzie Award winners who have gone above and beyond and continue to make their contributions to the arts. We're doing it differently and virtually because we want to make sure that every single one of you is still with us after this pandemic is over, whenever we find our new normals again, because that's the most important thing, that we're able to make sure all of you are healthy and with us in a year. So stick around to the end of the show because we'll be announcing the 2021 Ozzie Award winners, which you won't want to miss. It's another incredible group of people. Before we really kick off the show, I of course need to thank our incredible sponsors who are with us tonight celebrating the arts. First is our presenting sponsor, the Springfield Branson National Airport, Missouri State University's Judith Einert Reynolds College of Arts and Letters, SRC Holdings, Atlas Security, Southern Materials, the Community Foundation of the Ozarks, Machinos, and A Cricket in the House. I also have to thank our incredible videographer, Jim Boltus. He's the one that lit this beautiful scene and has created an incredible show for you tonight. Jim is a filmmaker, he's a storyteller, and a musician. He's also the founder of Plotline, a wonderful nonprofit organization working to teach and nurture future filmmakers. So thank you, Jim, for your time and all of your energy and your creative talent to make this possible tonight. So sit back, relax, enjoy attending a gala from the comfort of your home, and help us find some inspiration, find some hope in a time that's so chaotic and uncertain. On with the show.
Okay, so my name is Alberta Smith, and when did I receive it? Okay. I received the Arts Education Award in 2018.
You guys feeling good? Loose?
Yeah.
Can you do some warm-ups?
Let's do it. Tanya Forbes, Volunteer Award 2017.
And my name is Chuck Rogers, and I won the Individual Arts Award in 2019.
I'm Beth Doman. I'm the Executive Director at Springfield Little Theater, and I won the Individual Arts Award in 2016.
And I'm Lori Dunn, Education Director at Springfield Little Theater, and I was honored with the Arts Education Award in 2016.
I was going to say, this does say 2001, that's what I said. Okay. My name is Robert Bradley, and I was awarded the Ozzie Award in 2001 for my individual contributions to the arts in Springfield.
My name is Ashley Walden. I'm with Springfield Ballet. I've been there for about 3.5 years. In 2013, a board member of ours at the time nominated us for the Organization Award, and we were honored to receive it then. Ozzies is my favorite event of the year. Thank you for putting it on and doing this. It's fun.
I'm Sally Baird.
Rob Baird.
It was in the late 90s. We're old people. We can't remember all those things.
I was in the late 90s. You were in the early 2000s. I think you were 2003
or something.
And I was like late 90s.
My name is Carl Price. I am a surgeon in town. I received the 2016 Philanthropic Award, which I have right here. It's a great painting, collage by Stephanie Kramer. Stephanie is an amazing artist and does some amazing work. We have one of her larger works in our office.
My name is Lou Schaefer, and I won an individual Ozzie Award back in 2001.
My name is Tom Finney, and I won a special Ozzie back in the 90s.
Okay, my name is Cindy Curtis. I know you try to smile with your eyes. That's one thing we've had to learn in this pandemic. How to smile with your eyes. I volunteer with the Springfield Regional Opera, and I won the Volunteer Award in 2016. It's got nice little pieces of opera in, and I know every time I look at it, I smile because I remember, you know, all the wonderful times that I've spent with this opera. It's something that when I'm sitting on my rocking chair years from now, I will remember fondly, and that was a very important part of my life.
It's Randy Russell, and I work for Springfield Any Given Child, which is a part of the Kennedy Center programming. I was honored to receive the Ozzie Award in 1992. So I was given that for moving Arts Fest, growing Arts Fest into a larger event.
That's great.
Is that okay?
I think that's, yeah.
Okay.
My name is Yolanda Lors, and I won the Leadership Award. That was last year, October 19th. Let me see. But this is kind of stands out because it doesn't say anything, and that's art. You know, you see, especially in painting, it's whatever it says to you.
I strapped it into the passenger side of the car and drove it over here. I'm Randy Stewart. I won the individual Ozzie Award in 2006. Past several years I had been doing a weekly arts report. I call it simply Arts News every Friday morning, and it is heavily involved with promotion. It's promoting all the various arts organizations, the various artists and performers around the area, lots of interview guests and things like that. So I have dedicated a lot of time over the past several decades to promoting the arts in the Springfield area as well as throughout southwest Missouri, northwest Arkansas.
We never know what the future may bring. Tomorrow's questions will be complex, and we won't automatically know the answers. We learn how to search for them here in the College of Arts and Letters. We learn the skills of the future for the jobs of tomorrow. We're ready to rise, and it's time to shine.
Incredible people, right? I told you you'd be inspired by some of these wonderful, awesome people. There's probably some familiar faces, people you've seen before. Maybe there are a lot of new faces. Maybe even you're new to the Ozzie Awards, or you're just learning about the Springfield Regional Arts Council. We're glad that you're here. And our mission is to transform lives and enrich the community through the arts. And by celebrating all of the people who are doing that work, we are really honored to be a part of that whole process. And maybe you're seeing some familiar faces or voices that you've never seen a face before, like our friend Randy Stewart, the voice of the arts on KSMU. And I'm sure many of us are familiar with the hilarious Beth Doman, who we often see on the Landers stage, or our friends Rob and Sally Baird, who have made so much possible for the arts over many years, and they're still contributing their time, their talent, their energy to make the arts thrive, even during this pandemic. These people, these 16 people you're seeing tonight, represent more than 100 different Ozzie Award winners from more than 35 decades of Ozzie Awards. They're the people that have really contributed time and energy to be able to provide us this incredible arts community that we are able to take advantage of today. It's taken a lot of time and many, many decades of work to do the things that we are celebrating tonight, to encourage students to have arts experiences, to welcome those first-time theater goers the first time they step into a theater, for the students who are just learning about poetry or filmmaking, and of course our patrons who attend the symphony and have been participating in the symphony for decades, and for those who are auditioning and part of the shows and doing their one-man shows in our local bars and other places that you might see local musicians. There are so many stories to tell you, and I wish we had more time tonight. But these people are so important to the work. And we have to think about how the arts are still relevant now. The pandemic has done so much damage to our communities, to ourselves, to our economy, but the arts are still relevant. The arts are a part of that. The arts are what have kept us going during a lockdown. I don't know about you all, but I've made really good use of the streaming services we have at our house to keep us a little bit sane. But remember your favorite show, there's people behind that show that are artists, that are creators, directors, filmmakers, lighting designers, the actors themselves. Those are all artists, investing in the arts in all different capacities. The arts are a part of your life all the time. How about music? When my family gets really stir crazy with our young daughters, we crank up the music and we have dance parties in our living room. We're silly and goofy, and the backdrop to that is music. We built sandcastles in our backyard, we color, we find different ways to engage with the arts, and I'm sure you have too. Maybe you've dusted off that old sketchbook that you keep meaning to try out your new talent, or that guitar or your piano that you probably haven't been practicing on like you should. We find those unique ways to connect into the arts. The arts are still relevant, and let our friends help remind us why.
It is as a dream, a pleasant dream. I shall always look back on our theatricals with exquisite pleasure. There was such an interest such animation, such a spirit diffused. Everyone felt it. We were all alive. There was employment, hope, solicitude, bustle for every hour of the day, always some little objection, some little doubt, some little anxiety to be got over. I never was happier. And there it is, right there, that Jane Austen sums up the whole experience of being in community arts. 2 sentences: we were all alive, and I was never happier. That is the reason we are all in community arts. It makes us feel more alive. It gives us more joy. It creates for us an opportunity for us to use our talents and our abilities.
Well, I feel that the arts are most important and most relevant in times of tragedy and times of joy. If you think about it, we express ourselves artistically in all of those moments, in the happiest moments, in the saddest moments, in the hardest moments.
And to have the courage to continue to do things, the courage to stand up and still be a part, and that's why the arts are so important in everybody's life.
Oh my goodness, I just hesitate to think about what the world would be like without the arts. And you know, all the studies show that early childhood learning is mostly done through the arts. Children learn their ABCs, they learn their numbers by singing and dancing and that sort of thing. I think the arts are they're not an embellishment to life, they are what makes life worth living, really.
That's the thing, it's part of everybody's DNA.
Yeah.
The art is everywhere. It's in your clothes, it's in your cars, it's in your buildings, it's in every single thing that you touch and see every single day.
My thinking on this is it's a time for you to hone your skills, to turn inward, to think about why you do your art, to think about ways that you yourself can improve on your skills, and you can help others to improve on their skills. Even if we can't be out there, you know, doing jazz hands and doing dance moves, and in particular, singing, because that's considered a, quote, super spreader. We can still sing in our own homes, we can sing behind the camera.
That which you have worked to create, you now share with an audience. You give the audience the joy. You give the audience the feeling alive. You give them something that as they leave the venue of where the event has been, maybe they walk with a step, maybe they sit or stand a little higher. Maybe their step has a little more joy, a little more jump to it than when they came in. That becomes the reason for and the enjoyment of community arts.
I think that all of us don't have enough beauty in our lives. I think that the arts are able to convey emotions and feelings much better than we can in other ways sometimes. And especially going through what we've been going through for the last months, years, maybe, having that that ability to kind of have that collective emotions, and I think is really beautiful. And I think that that's really important for us all, as locally in Springfield, but also kind of as a species in general.
The arts are something that bring us all together. It brings us comfort. It's a place where you can feel normal. You can listen to music and you can feel maybe a minute of what it was, you know, what it is to be normal, because nothing is normal any longer. And arts are always, you know, it doesn't matter. There's so many things that divide our country. Arts tend to bring people together. and it tends to bring people together in something very, very joyful. And I think that's so important for our country right now.
And you find people involved in the arts are inquisitive, they want to seek knowledge, they want to find new answers. And I always, as a teacher, told my students, whether or not you become a practicing artist, the skills that you learn, creating things, becoming someone who shares their ideas through a visual or a musical or a performance format, is really sharing a piece of themselves.
The arts have always been a part of my life and has impacted me to who I am today. It is a meaningful piece to anyone's life, whether it's for their development or their quality of life. It just really brings out the joy and color into life.
Bringing people together. I think the arts bring people together, be it a performing art, be it a visual art, be it a audible art on radio or watching something in a movie house or on TV. The arts bring people together.
I think the arts are important because it's the best part of any civilization that you see, and the remainder of a civilization is always told through the arts. We know the history of hundreds and thousands of years because of the arts and what was produced. It's the best part of what a culture has.
It's been a continuous cycle basically for hundreds of years, for centuries, for thousands of years, since humans first walked the earth in a way, I guess. So yeah, whether we're having a pandemic or what we're dealing with, the arts are and remain and will be relevant.
I think it's the human expression that is more beautiful throughout the years, throughout the different eras in the world. And through that, we get to know not only the artists, but we get to know the works. And I'm talking not only about music and dance, but also all expressions of the arts.
You base a culture on the arts that they leave, and that was not their original intent when they made the pieces. That's just what you have now, and hopefully that still continues as years go by.
Obviously, the artistic portion of everything is important, but I think people tend to forget how much the arts economically benefit this community. When there's a show, when there's a performance, people are investing in Springfield. People come. That was one thing that really surprised me. When we were selling tickets, it wasn't just people, from around downtown or just from around the area. People come from all around our region and come into our communities and invest their money in our communities. And the arts it brings them here. And, one show can bring several hundred people downtown to eat dinner, to visit stores, to visit shops that maybe they wouldn't normally visit in the course of their day because they're just not in the area of the theater every day. And I think people forget about that. It's not just people necessarily enjoying themselves for a night of watching beautiful music or wonderful performances. It's a real significant part of Springfield, the Springfield economy, and I think it's important that it continue.
We are Southern Materials Company, the Ozarks' only Kohler showroom. We now offer a free in-home consultation where you meet with a designer who will transform your old bathroom to create your custom, one-of-a-kind dream bathroom. Southern Materials Company.
While you enjoy tonight's show, I hope you'll consider making a contribution to the Springfield Regional Arts Council. We've got several ways that you can do it, hopefully to make it so easy for you. You can text the number below and make a contribution that way. You can visit springfieldarts.org/Ozzie Awards to make a donation online. And you can check out the raffle baskets we have there. It's $10 for a ticket, or you can get 6 tickets for $50. And there's some really great prizes there. And there are a lot of ways to contribute. And a group of businesses and others who have contributed to make tonight possible, I want to remind you of our wonderful sponsors. Our presenting sponsor is the Springfield Branson National Airport, Missouri State University's Judith Einert Reynolds College of Arts and Letters, Southern Materials, SRC Holdings, Atlas Security, the Community Foundation of the Ozarks, Machinos, and a Cricket in the House. Thank you all again for being a part of tonight's production, and we're so grateful for your support through this chaotic and unprecedented time. So I hope you will consider contributing, because the COVID-19 pandemic has had a massive impact on the arts in Springfield, not just for the Arts Council, but for every arts organization that you can think of have been impacted. We know that by this spring in 2021, the arts will have lost about $2.5 million because of the shutdowns and the limited capacity, which will have a devastating impact on the work that we're able to do. And we're not talking just about organizations, some abstract idea. We're talking about our neighbors and our friends, the people who are employed by those organizations, the people who are benefiting from those artistic experiences, our friends who are musicians and others who are trying to make a living as an artist. This pandemic is devastating. So your contribution will make an enormous impact, no matter the size or the way you decide to make a contribution. We just ask that you get involved and find a way to support the artists and arts organizations in our community. So let's hear back again with our friends who are previous Ozzie Award winners.
We're going to still be doing what we're doing, whether we can't get out or not. That is who we are. That is our passion and how we serve our community. And so any way that we can do that, whether it's in person, online, however, we're going to be there. You can definitely count on us. That's how strong we are here in Springfield.
Arts will always persevere.
Yeah,
they will always persevere. If you don't have paint, people get berries and they smush them and make paint. I mean,
if you don't have light, you just do a show that takes place in the dark.
Right. It will always persevere.
As we take very cautionary steps through this minefield that we're walking, trying to figure out how to support the community with entertainment and with relevant entertainment.
They may not seem as relevant because they're not as visible. And that's a problem, I think. That's a big problem. Anybody who's in the performing or visual arts in any capacity will tell you that it's a big problem. The COVID-19 pandemic, the shutdown, everything about it, even though we're beginning to come out from under it, or performing organizations here in Springfield are finally doing live performances again on a limited basis, but it is a very limited basis, and they can't seat as many people as they used to. And the several months that they went through without any kind of performing, any kind of contact with the public except maybe on Facebook or something, and the lack of revenue, that's been almost a deal breaker for a lot of them, and I salute them for keeping going.
They still need support. So every organization that I can think of is struggling to stay afloat. And some have, just gone away completely. It's tragic and it's heartbreaking, but we've got to keep moving forward and we've got to keep trying, and we need your help.
Even though we're at a lower level at this point, we still have bills to pay. And so keep us in your thoughts, keep us in your year-end donations, keep us alive even though we're not physically in front of you 10 or 12 times a year.
And they will pay it forward when they come back. I am confident of that.
It's an integral part of the quality of life in our community. You need a road to travel to your work or to your school. You need parks. You need art, because that's what makes life meaningful. And Springfield is not going to be the community it has the potential to be until the arts are fully developed in our community. And I think we should be very proud of the fact that in our community, a relatively mid-sized town, we have opera, we have theater, we have one of the best park systems in the country.
We have such an amazing arts industry here in Springfield that some might think, wow, you're kind of a small space to have this amount of amazing arts groups, but we're so blessed to be a part of that.
We are very much aware of the importance in this community of the arts to the quality of life.
You have to take in consideration what are the things that we can do to create, to share with an audience, but at the same time, keep all of us well, keep all of us healthy. But at least you are creating something that you then share with an audience.
It's real easy during a pandemic to become really focused and hyper-focused on sometimes things that you can't do anything about. Being able to get in touch with some different sides of yourself through the expression of your arts, being able to, or expression that can realize itself through art, I think is real important for us. I think it helps work through some of the feelings of helplessness that we all feel sometimes in these weird times. For us to kind of give up on that part of things, I think it would be sad.
The arts are what we have that nourish us on so many levels. You don't have to participate as a maker of the arts, or a producer of the arts, or a performer in the arts, to be able to be really touched by what you see. It's all around you, and I'm outside a lot now, and I feel like the arts are present in nature if you just have to take the time to look for them. And I was kayaking the other day, and there was a beautiful daylily that had gotten loose and was just floating and had little droplets of water on top of it which were glistening in the sun. And I about turned over the kayak to take the picture of it, but I took the picture of it because this was something that was just random, but it was absolutely beautiful. And again, it's what you see. And I think the arts train you to see things that you might overlook otherwise.
You know, when we had the shut-in, when we couldn't get out of the house much and so forth, it was so beautiful to see in those countries, in Spain, in Italy, you know, sharing the music through the windows, through the balconies, or out on the floors, you know, to hear Luciano Pavarotti, you know, singing outside the cathedral and so forth. Especially right now, because it's very uncertain times.
When we decided that we had to shut the doors, and we were 1 week away from opening our spring production of Matilda. The set was there, the costumes were there, the actors were ready, everything was ready, and we had to decide we just can't. We can't expose people to this. But then we're all sitting around, and we don't sit around.
Not well.
we do not sit around. And so during the first couple of weeks of the pandemic, I was like, but you can't sit around. This is our life. This is a testament to what our being really is to this community, because we immediately jumped on the board and said, how can we continue to thrive? Springfield needs us.
Right.
You know, what can we do? So we've kept performing.
Atlas is a family-owned and operated business. My family started it in 1962, and we've been in business ever since. We specialize in residential and commercial burglary, fire, access control, cameras, and home automation.
They make it sound so easy, don't they, to get involved? Guess what? It really is that easy. And the most important thing is to just get started. You don't have to be Picasso, you don't have to be Lizzo, you don't have to be Lin-Manuel Miranda, for heaven's sakes, to be an artist. The most important thing is to just get started, to try something out, to purchase that beautiful note card at a local gallery to send to a note to your mom, because she's probably waiting to hear from you, or your grandma, or your father, or your friend. Maybe get out and enjoy the beautiful weather and check out all the beautiful public art around town. Maybe you're ready to take the leap and do that audition because you're ready to try something new. You don't have to be a gazillionaire to make a donation. Just make a donation. We will put that money to great work. So take some time. You've already got your phone out, I'm assuming. Maybe you're watching this on the phone already and you're ready to text to give. Just use the number below to make a donation to the Springfield Regional Arts Council right now.
Any way you can be a patron. Membership, donations of any type, those type of things. So we just have to, everyone can think about other things that are being stressed and then think about an arts organization that can't put on a performance, can't do this or that. So I think we as individuals can all help on that and as a community because we're probably a long way away from normalcy as far as the arts performance, but the organizations and the artists have to exist until then.
They don't need to be afraid to become involved in an arts organization. People will say, oh, I can't sing, I don't know anything. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There are so many things that you can do to help and be a part of the arts. And I think you just have to not be afraid to just jump in and say, I want to help. I want to be part of this. And I can't think of a single organization in this town that wouldn't say, come on board, we got a ton of stuff for you to do. And you just have to not be afraid.
The analogy there is that you work on something that you don't know anything about and you pull together a team, and that's what's grown the arts in the community, not certainly by any individual. And the Ozzie Awards are done through individuals and through groups. But that growth continues when you have success.
And I think you follow your passion. If you have an interest in something, contact that group, talk about it. But I think it's a two-way street. I think the groups have to not only reach out, but they have to be responsive to people. And there's a lot on everybody's plate. Sometimes it's hard to effectively deal with volunteers, but they are the key link back to the community. When you have volunteers, you have someone that's spreading the gospel to their family, to their neighbors, to people they go to church with. So it's really important, but it has to work both ways. But if you're a citizen, get involved in something that's a passion to you.
We want people to see that there are still people out there, and the people that are winning the awards and have won the awards are keeping those kinds of things going, and they're building people and opportunities. They're giving them the confidence to try that. And that's why the arts are so strong in Springfield, Missouri. That's why the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts in Washington, D.C. chose Springfield, Missouri as its first competitive site for any given child. There was something happening here that's not happening around the country. So we are excited about that. We have only grown that since. And we have amazing people that I've had the pleasure to work with that I'm incredibly grateful for as an older arts supporter now.
You may not be supporting them by purchasing tickets, but you can bloody well support them financially in other ways. You can also contact your favorite arts organization and see what kind of help they need.
Volunteer. I mean, it's enriching. You meet interesting people you might not come in contact with otherwise. It broadens your perspective.
You are the ultimate volunteer and the ultimate person that corrals us together.
Right.
You know.
Tanya probably knows more about the theater than any of us.
I know. You don't want to know what Tanya knows about this.
Tanya keeps our secrets.
That's why I'm quiet.
I came 13 years ago when my niece volunteered for a show or auditioned, and I was that kind of person like, I don't know any of these people, I can't leave her. And then I saw some things that needed to be done, and I asked, can I help? Can I do that? And it snowballed into what I do now. And I loved every minute of it. I have come from a town in Michigan that has nothing like this, any arts anywhere. And so it is all totally new to me. And I just love giving and helping and being there and doing tasks that they don't have time to do. But it's stuff that has to be done.
Right.
I'm just, you know,
Yeah.
part of the team.
Yeah.
You're a part of the team, and that's what I think makes us so successful in the arts community.
I feel so fortunate to have the family and the team that we have in Chuck Rogers and Jamie Bauer and Beth and everyone else at the theater. So I just feel really lucky to be a part of that, really grateful.
Yeah, we are lucky.
We are lucky.
We can get involved, put your shoulders to the wheels, and I think it is important, because it's such a beautiful way for humanity to get together, to enjoy beautiful things, so that's why I think it's important to get involved through any way you can, donations, teaching a class.
I'd like to thank the Arts Council for bringing everybody together, and honest to God, because we're all like feral cats, and really and truly, it is. It's like herding feral cats, and we all are fun, have a good time, and the Arts Council, they are the feral cat herder. So thank you for always getting everybody together and keeping it all possible. It's not an easy job, truthfully.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I hope you found a little bit of inspiration, maybe a little bit of hope. We are already excited for Ozzie Awards in 2021. We've already set the date out at the Springfield Branson National Airport for Saturday, October 16th. So mark your calendar now. We are certainly hoping to be back in person together to celebrate. And drum roll, we have the announcement tonight for our 2021 award winners. So without further ado, our winners for 2021 are the Millie Project. They'll be receiving the Community Cultural Award. Linda PASSERI will win the Individual Artist Award. Jeff HAMMOCK wins the Leadership Award. Sculpture Walk Springfield will be receiving the Organization Award. And Art Feeds will receive the Regional Impact Award. And the wonderful Craig and Sharon Wagner will receive the Volunteer Award this year. It's another incredible group of people making enormous impacts on the community and certainly within the arts. So thank you for your time tonight. Please consider making a contribution and stick around for one more message from our presenting sponsor, the Springfield Branson National Airport. Have a great evening.
We love flying out of the Springfield Airport. I mean, parking is easy. Short lines, check-ins are easy.
Plus, a great selection of food.
Don't say it. Easy.
Springfield Airport. We make flying easy.